Hi everyone, my name's Revbiew. Today we're going to be watching episode 3 of Obi Wan Kenobi, which I am obsessed with at the moment. Yesterday I watched episode 2 and I'll leave a link to that video in the description down below. And tomorrow's episode 4, so it's like a 3-day filming event. I don't mind, I don't care. Well, we get to watch Star Wars. So yesterday's episode we left off with Obi Wan and Leia escaping. Reva just stabbed the Grand Inquisitor because why the fuck not? And yeah, I'm just super intrigued, want to get into it, want to find out what happens next, have no idea what's going to happen. I find that with this series, keeping my expectations low and just basically going in being like, whatever happens, happens is the best method. So yeah, got my cup of tea and here we go. Oh yeah, and the most important thing in the last episode, Obi-Wan found out that Anakin's Darth Vader. We are 100% getting to see Liam Neeson in this series. I bet like last episode, last scene, that is going to be Qui-Gon. Vader's got all the Inquisitors where he wants them. This
Fail me, and you will not live.
I like V.
Ben?
He can't see.
Ben?
He can't see Anakin as Darth Vader. He's still seeing him as Anakin. He's still, even though it's 10 years has passed, like, and yeah, he's just found out he's alive.
Stay close.
But that's a lot of internal struggle, I think, like finding out the person you grew up with, who you brought up essentially, not the person you wanted them to be.
We've walked long enough.
Leia's just like, I'm gonna take charge.
Hop in.
She is so much like Padme. Padme was just like, I'm gonna come. Like, I mean, look, Phantom Menace. She was like, I'm coming along on Tatooine. This is dangerous for a queen, but I'm coming along. Friend, not foe!
Yeah, he helps now and again. Smuggling younglings.
Quinlan Voss? Is that the Quinlan they mean?
Only when the eyes are closed.
Oh, I hope we see Quinlan Voss in this.
But on the other side, gives me a faster draw.
Can you teach me how to shoot?
Leia.
Leia, you're 10.
Get ready.
Not yet.
She'll make a good.
Tunnels! Anakin. Vader. Vader is... He's making a point. He knows Obi-Wan can see and he's making a point. We're gonna get a fight scene! We're not getting a fight scene! We just gotta know it. I'm just going against Reva. She's gonna die and she badass! I knew that droid was gonna come in hell. Good droid. I just feel like Vader is that he could easily use the Force, he could pull him. Fire is not stopping the Force. That's a choice. Is that Anakin's choice? Okay, we've watched episode 3, which is definitely my favourite episode of the series so far. So many components. We're getting... Oh, there's so much emotion in this episode. We're having Obi-Wan deal with his grief. We're dealing not just with the grief of Anakin, but the grief of what Anakin's become. Padme, we're getting a lot of references to Leia's biological mother, and she is so like Padme. She does not give a crap. She will not be told what to do. She is going to do it. And everyone else is in with the ride. I love it. And that's the heart of Leia's character as she grows up. She's a little less forceful with it as she gets older, I think. I think right now it's the childish impulsivity, but I am loving it. The introduction of Tala, I love it. Because we don't know a lot about the Resistance and the origins, and did many people join the Empire then turn over, so we're getting like this interesting storyline here. And we got mention of Quinlan. I only know one Jedi called Quinlan, and that's Quinlan Voss, he's such an interesting Jedi, especially after reading the book Dark Disciple. His character is phenomenal, and it's very much been unclear whether he did survive the Clone Wars or not in Order 66. So we now have confirmation. Are we going to see Quinlan Voss in the next couple of episodes? I don't know. I hope so, because that would be amazing. And seeing Obi-Wan maybe conversed with a Jedi he's directly had an impact with, because they work together quite a lot in the Clone Wars. In the first episode of the Obi-Wan TV show, we see him come across the Jedi, but it's clear they don't have like maybe the personal attachment. And yes, personal attachment is not the Jedi way, but we're in like territory which is a bit different now. And I think with Quinlan working alongside the Resistance, I'm really interested. I want to know more of the story. I want to know what's happening. Tala, like I say, very interesting character. I'm now really intrigued. Reva, the reaction Reva had finding the hideout, I'm intrigued because it didn't seem frustration from a Quizster standpoint, and when she touched the symbols, I feel like there's a personal thing here with Reva. It's not just about being an Inquisitor, it's not just about Sith and power, there's something else under there. I wonder potentially maybe she saw something from a master, maybe she was an apprentice. I don't know, there's just so much of this character is so interesting, and I feel like she's really pivotal. She is a pivotal point to this whole series, and I feel like once we find out what her thing is, it's going to unlock so much more, and it's going to be so impactful when we find out. It's going to be like, oh, that's what they've been leading up to. It's going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait. Obi-Wan and Darth Vader coming together, I mean, I just found the whole combat scene so interesting. We have Anakin, Vader being very aggressive in the stance. We have Obi-Wan being very defensive. And I think that's because he still sees Anakin as Anakin, not Vader. And this is the thing what I love about Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker as characters. You do see them as two separate entities, which maybe pull and influence each other. So we do say Vader in Anakin, but Anakin is very much Anakin. And then we see Anakin in Vader. We've seen this before in Rebels Season 2 final. We saw when Ahsoka hit the mask. Anakin returned for a little bit. He called her Ahsoka. There was that recognition before the eyes changed. So we do see these influences, and I do wonder whether in that fight scene after the flames came down, did Anakin sort of come through and take over a little bit? Because Vader could have stopped the droid saving Obi-Wan easily could have used the Force, done that. And even then, like, the whole burning him, it was just such a very intense and emotional scene. I think we're seeing a lot between these two characters. There's something going on with Vader, and we're going to find out in the next 3 episodes. Episode 4 is tomorrow. I cannot wait, and I can't believe I've got a whole week to wait before episode 5. I'm in for this series. I'm fully in. It's so interesting, so compelling. I'm loving Leia. When we first got the series, I thought if we saw anyone it would be Luke, to be quite honest. I never thought we'd see Leia because Leia was an Alderaan, and she's become such a character, and I love it because they've really fleshed out Leia as a character. Because often in the books and graphic novels and comics, we only get Leia fleshed out as an adult, while Luke, we do see a bit of the childhood side. So I think it's just really interesting, compelling, and also makes sense because in A New Hope, when Luke comes in and saves Leia, he's like, I'm here with Ben Kenobi, and she's like, Ben Kenobi, where is he? She knows Ben, and you can get that excitement. It's not just a friend of afar. She just physically knows him. He saved her as a child, and there's just so much connections. I'm loving the series. It's brilliant. I can't wait to see what's going on. My expectations, I know I started this being like, I'm going low expectations every time. My expectations are high now. I'm just like, yes, I want to know. I want my answers. I have so many questions. And who else are we going to see this series? Who else? I mean, I hope we see Quinlan Voss now. Just like get that like nostalgia from the Clone Wars, and yeah, actually see a live action version of him as well, because I know we've had like glimpses and cameos and that, but I mean like actually having someone portray the character fully just be so great. And I want to know more about Tala. I want like to have like a book about her. I want to see how like she believed in the Empire, because I think it's just so interesting, because even though we as an audience know the Empire is bad and we know Palpatine's bad, obviously that's how like dictatorships rise. So it'd be really interesting to maybe see a young Tala and why she believed in the Empire and why she joined up, and then see the events what led to her being like, oh shit, this is not a good thing, and then starting like to get into the Resistance and starting to help people. I think that would just be such an interesting book. Someone write that, please. Disney, commission a writer to write Tala's story, because I want to know so much more. But yeah, that's my episode reaction and review of episode 3. As you can tell, I absolutely loved it. So yeah, please let me know down below in the comments what you thought of this episode. Are you obsessed with it as I am? If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment or subscribe, and may the Force be with you. Bye.